Comedian Mike Larry, man, from Detroit. Real name is Larry Williams. What it was with me, I was an athlete, man. I was an athlete, and I got hit, by two cars, and it just changed my life, And I ended up getting a job maybe about 2 or 3 years later, and I always been kind of like funny, you know what I'm saying? I always cracked a few jokes here and there. And at the job, I was like hilarious. Everybody's like, man, you funny, you do comedy. And I ended up meeting a guy who was doing comedy. And people was bringing him to me like, hey, this guy funny, man, and you need to link up with him. And I went out there. He was funny too. I went and he was funny at work. Everybody thought he was funny. And so I went and watched him, and he was bombing. And I said, oh no, this ain't for me. He ain't doing good. I ain't gonna do good either. And about 2 years later, I called him back. He kept in touch with me, and I called him, asked him where he was at. He said, man, come down Tuesday, man, and you can go up. And it's been history ever since, man. My very first time, again, it's the club that I host now. It's Club Mandy's on 6 Mile and Conant. The same guy, he was hosting the room at the time, and he called me down there, and I was supposed to go up that Tuesday, which is Tuesday night he was hosting. And I got there and was kind of like, I really wanted to watch first. He like, man, he called me. I thought he called me on stage, like, man, come to the stage, man, give it up for Larry Williams, And I'm like, man, I ain't going up today. I ain't ready. I don't got my stuff together. And so after he, got over that little point, and I told him, I said, well, I'll be back next week. And the following week, I came back. I wrote all my stuff down. I rehearsed it in the mirror over and over again, and went there that Tuesday. And killed, man. Got a little standing ovation in a little bar atmosphere where nobody. He brought me up, of course, saying this is his first time on stage, and got a standing ovation, man. First joke was my Judge Mathis impersonation. I put him in the courtroom. I made the case with him, Bill Cosby, and Richard Pryor, and Mike Tyson, I think. I think Mike Tyson was in it too. And somehow they was suing, I think Mike Tyson was suing Bill Cosby about some tape or something he found or something to that nature, man. So I impersonated all 3 of them, and then impersonated Judge Mathis, you know what I'm saying? And I think Bill Cosby was like, see, I did not have the tape because of the, because I told her she could get the pudding pop because of, And Mike Tyson was like, I really wasn't, basically, this is ludicrous. I don't want to be here anymore. And Richard Pryor was like, see, I told him, and then I made Judge Mathis go off on all of them. Sir, all y'all crackheads, everybody a crackhead in here. Don't try and run the game. I know the game. Mike Tyson, you raped that woman. That's what you did. And you not going, and it just kept going on and on, man. I really don't remember exactly how the joke went because it was like my first joke, but that's the basis of it. I remember when I first started comedy, when I was trying to come up with jokes, I probably had like 2 good jokes, and I'd be asleep, and I would have to keep a notebook and pen next to the bed because you'll wake up thinking about the joke. Oh, that's funny. But if you try and remember yourself, you'll forget it. I don't care who you are. Every comedian on earth, they say that they think of jokes and they remember them the next day, they lying. You can't remember them jokes, man. Things that happen in your head, you can't remember them. You got to write them down. So, I would write them down and try them out on stage. And you got to keep trying them. If it's kind of funny, if you got potential, you keep trying it until you realize that it ain't funny or that you realize that it do have potential. You can't go to one spot and it don't work and then leave it alone because it just might be that spot. You know what I'm saying? So you try it a couple of different times and keep pushing them, man. And you like with me, with my set, I like to make it make sense. I don't want to talk about my kids, and then I talk about crackheads, then I talk about my kids again. It's got to be kids, crackheads, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Where we call it segues in the comedy world. We call it segues, meaning it just got to make some type of sense, you know what I'm saying? I never bomb, man. And when I say that, I mean, it's never been a time in, why I say this now then next month, but it's never been a time where the crowd was paying attention and it was a good atmosphere and I bombed, put it that way. I done had situations where the crowd was crazy, they really wasn't here for comedy anyway, and they wasn't paying attention. But it's never been a situation where, okay, the crowd is listening, and then I go up and do my material, and then I bomb. Always nervous beforehand, like before I go on stage. Sometimes I've been shaking, like, because you don't know what to expect, and it's the anticipation of it, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as I grab the microphone, it's a wrap, I'm good. And it's funny because it's the same way with sports for me. I played football at Central Michigan University, and before the game, I'm nervous, but after that first contact or the first whatever, as soon as we get the field and you get to hitting and whatever, and you cool after that point, man. Yeah, I got custody of my kids. I got 2 kids. That's mine. I got custody of, and I got a fiance who got 4 kids. So altogether we got 6. We like the Brady Bunch, and we've been together about 9 years now, man. So yeah, I got kids and support them off comedy, man. So in order for me to be successful, I had to put all my eggs in one basket. Some people say you ain't supposed to do that, but I feel like if you really believe in something that you're doing, you might as well put it all in, and that's where you can get 100% up out of it, you know what I'm saying? The church community is where matter of fact, Oasis of Hope, where I first really kind of like launched my clean avenue. I came and did a show for Pastor Claude May for $50, man. It was at a men's retreat, and almost didn't do it because I'm like, $50? Hey, man. I didn't know him at the time. I didn't know the situation, and I went and did it, man. It was like the best thing I ever did, because that show right there just propelled me to a million other shows, and then just a relationship I built. And matter of fact, he's my pastor now. So Detroit, at one point they did, this before I started comedy. I always hear the stories about B's Comedy Kitchen, Cocoa House of Comedy. They had like a lot of little few joints, man. And when I came on the scene, all that was kind of like leaving. Everything was kind of like replenishing, and so like right now, it's no real comedy clubs per se. Like it's no official comedy clubs. You got a few comedians that have like a once a month, where they host a once a month night, and that's pretty successful. Matter of fact, my boy comedian Kool-Aid, got a once a month that he hosts every first Saturday or second Saturday, something like that. That's pretty successful, but it's no weekend comedy clubs like there in other states. You go to Chicago, they got Jokes and Notes, and you go to different spots. LA got the Comedy Union, the Comedy Castle, and those are all pretty successful in that city, in that state. We got a few that's on the outside of Detroit, like Mark Ridley's and places like that that's been around forever, and that's great comedy clubs, but nothing in the inner city. I think if every comedian played their part and being a part of that, then it would bring the market back. I guess say I do my part. I try to do my part, and the newer comedians that come in, I try and encourage them to do the same thing. But it's gonna take all of us, in a sense, and it's gonna take people such as myself hustling so I can make it, in a sense, to be on TV or something like that, and then come back and start a comedy spot. You know what I mean? Because people in Detroit or people anywhere, they don't believe it until they see it. I think every city needs a comedy spot. Everybody want to laugh. You know what I mean? Everybody want to laugh, man. Whether they, I get thugs in certain spots, who don't laugh for nobody, who eventually start laughing. He be like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to laugh, man. Old ladies, man, who you wouldn't think that they would be at a bar laughing. Certain jokes, like dirty jokes, you like, dang, she must used to be a little freak when she was younger, like she laughing at all kinds of stuff, Favorite Detroit comedian? I would have to say Shawnee D, comedian Shawnee D. Shawnee D, she a female comedian, but because the very first time I saw her, she was hilarious, man. and it was just the point of her being herself. Like she'd pull her, she pull her stomach out. Like she don't care about nothing. And she kind of heavy set little boy. I ain't gonna say heavy set, but she big boned it, and she'll pull her stuff like she don't care, and all her topics just be about life, and it don't matter what type of situation she in, she can make the crowd love her. You know what I'm saying? And I always was impressed with that, man. If I said, y'all already gonna laugh. My favorite national comedian is Bill Cosby. not because the pill or nothing, no. But it was Bill, man. Bill, I like Bill because Bill was a clean comic, for one, and his storytelling, the way he tell his stories, will make you feel like you there. You know what I mean? He take you on these little roller coasters, and he just make you feel like you there. And it's, and I don't know if y'all know, but it's hard to be a clean comedian. It's hard to make people laugh and not use profanity and not cuss, and it's hard, man. And so yeah, he was one. And matter of fact, he was one of the first people I was able to impersonate. I do Jello for Zeke, you know what I'm saying? I ain't have no pills in my pocket, man, but I would impersonate him. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, he was my favorite comedian. Bill Cosby, my favorite comedian, man. That was the largest crowd, man. It was 5,400 people there. It was it was the Milwaukee Theater, It was in Milwaukee. It was like 5,300 people, man. I mean, yeah. And when you talk about it, between talking about it and seeing it, it's two different things, And being in front of you, and you get on stage, and you really can't see them that much because the lights are shining on you in your face. But just to know that you see like little lights, like their phones, you can see their phones lit up, and to see all those people out there just waiting for you to make them laugh is crazy, man. Bruce was probably the coolest person I met, man. Funny thing, when I did that show, now they got two different rooms. There's the green room, right? Now the first one, like this is my first time doing a big show like this, first of all. And so when I get here, I see a little room, and it had like little cut up pieces of broccoli or something set out, and some little water or something. And I'm like, dang, this must be, I don't know what this is. And I look down the hall, I see a sign say green room. I'm like, okay, that must be where we're supposed to be at the green room. I had my girl with me, I had on, we walking all the way down, I'm holding her hand, we walk down to the green room, because I'm feeling myself, So I say, hey, baby, this is the green room. We walk in, and it's a couch, a TV, it's set up real sweet, it's a buffet of food, a big nice spread. Then I see the dressing rooms, like Bruce dressing room, Pierre, I don't know if you heard comedian Pierre, Huggy Lowdown's another guy named Huggy Lowdown, and I'm like, okay, well maybe they got their own rooms, but I can sit out here and chill, with TV, whatever. Now the producer that put me on the show, I never met him, so I'm sitting down, me and my girl sitting down, and I told her, say, grab something to eat, Now, a guy walks in, and Bruce walks in. The guy that walk in, he walks over there to me, he looks at me, I'm thinking like, okay, this must be the producer. I get up, I give him a 5, and he like, yeah. All right, what's up, man? I said, what's up, man? And he was just looking weird. I said, yeah. So he walk away, and I see Bruce come in, like, hey, what's up, man? He clowning. I said, hey, what's up, bro? He walk over there to me, he looking kind of funny too. And I'm like, man, why is everybody looking funny? Now, Bruce kick it with us, for me and my girl both, for about 30, 40 minutes. Now, the guy who originally put me on the show, I didn't know who he was. He ended up coming down there, and he said, anybody seen a guy named Mike Larry? I said, it's me. He said, where you been, man? We've been looking for you. I said, I'm in the green room. He said, you ain't supposed to, sorry, Bruce, you're not supposed to be down here. This is Bruce room. I said, oh, so this, wait a minute, so this, I told my girl, put that plate up. So this Bruce, y'all saying this Bruce whole room? He like, yeah, man, you ain't supposed to be in here. You supposed to be in the other room. You ain't see that room down there with the little broccoli? I said, damn. Okay, well, let me get on out of here. I'm sorry, Bruce, man. I appreciate it, and that's why it made me feel like Bruce is so cool, man, because he could have came in like, what the hell is going on, man? Y'all can't be eating. Who eating? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing here? And he didn't do that to me, dog. Hey, yeah. Hey, listen, man. I'm Mike Larry, man. You can find me. You can Google me, man. ComedianMikeLarry.com, but the Mike is spelled M-I-C and Larry is spelled L-A-R-R-Y.